Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our first episode playing The Sun Shining on the World, The Frozen Motherland. So today we're going to be playing as the Japanese Empire. Japan, by both winning the Sino-Japanese War and the Pacific War, succeeded in acquiring almost the entirety of East Asia and the Pacific Islands. After this, multi-party politics revived, and as a result, the army and navy became enemies of distant from the people. Japan aims to further expand its power in the New World via the Pacific Ocean by also supporting the American Freedom League once again. Was keep fighting to Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Spirit alive and create a new world order. So, I don't know too much about this mod. I just know it's, of course, like Tino or a thousand week Reich, an alternate history scenario where the Axis powers win the Second World War. Here we go. We can learn some more lore. Signing the Sino-Japanese Non-Aggression Pact was an easy to understand preparation for the upcoming war between us and the Soviet Union. Hawkinshire on the northern expansion was a steady step forward towards the cause we were aiming for. That road paved with courage and confidence, and our power in the June when the Hydrodonies bloomed in the painted mainland. Germany invaded the Union of Social Soviet Republics. We declared war soon after. Everything went according to plan. If there was one flaw, it would be the Soviets being aware of our move. How? It goes without saying the crisis of the enemy government found itself at the highest degree. The problem was their response. They had no choice but to ask the spine the U.S. administration, Harry White, for help. And so the United States presented us with the whole note, an ultimatum. Of course, we couldn't accept the demand, issuing a declaration of war against the Allies. We had to move north and south at the same time. Still, our power soared in the skies. No matter the task in the Great East Asia War, a sidetracked Japan steadily won. The divine wind was blowing in our favor. In the United States, Harry White's handiwork exposed him as a spy. As a result, Moscow's agents from the government were discovered. The country then divided into two factions: the anti-war group disliking cooperation with the Reds, and the pro-war one, not wanting Japan to take control of Asia. The former won out, and the peace was signed. The collapse of the Soviet Union came quickly after that. However, that was the result of our power, so it wasn't all that surprising. We had to win, and they had to lose. That's all there was to it. The problems came afterwards. The world went on towards disarmament, and their army weakened. Then the recession. However, above all, came an intensification of the Sino-German collaboration. We thought that winning the war would have given us hegemony over Asia. Still, China, what a world. Our supremacy began and then clashed with theirs. That's frightening enough, but as usual, it's no problem. If our experience is anything to go by, that's all we have to keep in mind. Courage is a small step from recklessness, and the excessive concept of confidence is just self-deception. The road to hell is the same, paved with good intentions, bravery, and confidence. So the lore of the mod is 1936, February 26th is how Germany invades Poland. 1940, I guess nothing happens. 41, we all know this. Hawaii Treaty in 1944, started the American Civil War in 1948. The mods, so this is interesting. Original portraits, unique GUIs, scenario 1959-64, better state classification, more sub-ideologies, war anniversary, so these are updates. Anyway, this has all been very interesting. Features automatic jet deployment, so you don't, so this is cool. But we have to get our forces together now, and let's do exactly that. Get this guy. Focus. Yoshura speaks to the diet. Modify government. We're not going to do too much with this right now, yeah. Factories. Let's get some guns ready to go, get some support equipment ready to go, and get some not support equipment because we already just did that, so there's no point in doing that, and get some artillery ready to go. So of course we can get tanks too, planes, jet fighter, no picture setting. Well, that's interesting. We'll get a lot of jets, a lot of guns. Well, we'll get a lot of jets. Won't be too bad. Research. Can probably do that. Let's get the relay computer. Basic information theory. Industry. We'll go with what we go. Let's go with infantry stuff first before we worry about that. Bicycle infantry. Let's do that. Armor. Probably get amphibious tanks. That'll be useful, I'm sure. And 41 light. Civilian industry infrastructure. Get all of that. Then we can go. We have a lot of factories. I'll say that. Japan can build a hell of a lot of factories. I don't know how we have this many. I guess the states are made a lot smaller. It's my guess. No, China states are still the same. I don't know why Japan states are so so small. Anyway, that's interesting. Stabilize the nation. Free dockyards. Just build some convoys at the moment. Convoys, probably build some of those. Goes for a speech to the Diet. The Prime Minister will give the government policy speech during the Diet meeting. There, he will declare the House of Peers reform, which has been considered for some time, which will be enacted during his term. The death of Stalin. Even the Man of Steel cannot escape death. Who leads it now? The Supreme Soviet. Interesting. I have to say, the focuses are beautiful in this mod. The focus things are beautiful. There's a lot of things here, I will say. Independent regime, no elections, election by interesting. This the house in the house of interesting. The memorial ship Congo, the Congo class battleship, super dreadnought, Congo Banzai, Banzai Banzai. The 1950 government line speech. At the beginning of the Diet's ordinary session, Prime Minister Yoshihara gave a speech on government policy. He mentioned all the areas in the administration, but took some time to talk about the failure of his predecessors, Kinzo Masaruka and Mama Shinzo, for the reform of House of Peers. He pointed out that the higher house's current system of transcending party politics causes conflict with representatives. He said the reform of the peers was indispensable to promote a democratic nation. He persuaded the House of the question to declare their first goal would be to pass a reform amendment in the current session. Cheers and applause came not only from the ruling Segrai, but from the socialist Shakuto, from the liberal Manso, and from the other opposition parties that share the same goal. On the other hand, the speech contents are spreading among the peers from anxiety and excitation around surrounding Diet. Can this goal be achieved? The budget plan in 1950. A draft of the empire's budget is prepared. Interesting. So China is led by Pan Yi. These guys led by Johannes, military government of Beijing. I love this. This is a very interesting mod. I do like it quite a lot so far. Jojo Jab. And my boy, question mark, question mark, question mark. Who could not love question mark, question mark, question mark? The man, the myth. Germany is led by now Gerhard Wilbs. Interesting. Hitler attacked by the resistance. Interesting. Where is Hitler anyway? If you're Hitler, I guess they have the same thing. Leftist Vanguard. Rome Pilot 1. This is the atomic age. Oh, that's interesting. I love that you can change the leader image. We have to look at that. Invite such as let's get our stability up first. Let's get the watch out for labor unions. Basic information theory. Go with transport tech. Let's go with armored train. That'll be interesting. Let's get an armored train going. Yokozan Kozukani, interesting there. It's very interesting. I love that. Love that little feature. Let's get that lady, the Japanese lady. Watch out for labor unions. I don't know. I guess we really hate labor unions. It is what it is. Relay computer. Let's get a improved relay computer. Let's get the early mobilization. Will that help us? Actually, I want to see. So that gives us some. I think this will be generally helpful. So let's get early mobilization. Oh, frick, Crash. Give me a second. Oh, that's fun. I'll guess we'll be back in a second. And my friends, we are back in town. We gotta invite the social security experts. Hopefully we are able to invite the social security experts and doesn't crash. That'll be my hope at the very least. Let's get the ships going. Please just don't crash. I'm begging you, don't crash. He didn't crash. Beautiful. A second attempt to revise the House of Peers. Even in pre-war attempts to grant women's suffrage and enact democratic reforms on a Honolulu tree, the House of Peers refused to change its ways. As the third time's a challenge, you shall make it through preparations to reform them. Interesting. Hitler nominates Himmler as his... Okay. Poor Goering, you know. Being replaced by Himmler. No, poor guy. Poor fella. Kenchichi Yoshua. Oh, please don't crash. It didn't crash. Let's go. The collapse of the regime of Cardenas collapsed. I don't know where that is. So I'm guessing Spain. Oh, Francisco Franco, my boy. Federal Republic of China. Aim for an amendment for the House of Peers. Justice Sui was a main important decision. He will take another shot revising the House of Peers. The endeavor had been unsuccessful both before and after the war. His decision for now has only left a few of his aides. Everyone, including Yoshitsue himself, was now starting to feel their heartbeat quickening. Starting from when his fact came to light, the great debate involving all of Japan will begin anew. Interesting. Tough stances, or we could go coordinated stances. I think coordinated stances is probably a smarter route to go, because I don't want to piss off 40%. Even though we do have a majority, I think I'll pass on pissing those guys off. Because, yeah, I mean, the House of Peers is a big support there. So I'm not going to piss off the social conservatives. Social conservatives, be my best friend. The Type 11 automatic assault rifle. It's not possible. Oh, that's sad. It's not possible. That's sad. Collectivized society. That's the way to go. No, I don't know if it is, but you know, liberalism awareness social research institute. Well, let's do that. Or build or revise the House of Peers. Let's go with liberal. Look at the status quo. Let's go. No, liberalism awareness program. 15 days. The ruling opposition parties in the two House of Parliament have begun to fight over the law to reform the House of Peers. Currently, many politicians are divided: the opposition and the reformists. Luckily, we have some political power though, so that's pretty good. Discussion. Members of the House of Peers join the cabinet. That's the way to go. Assignment about the earthquake. Invite the House of Peers member. 70%, so it's not bad. Memorial ship, we're not going to return to duty anytime soon, buddy. Criticizing speech by Koichi Kido. Koichi was the chair of his office of a plunk, signing to express the harshness of his politics. Yes, that day he was annoyed. The reason was an answer he previously received at the Diet. During this said occasion, Yoshitsu was dealing with Koichi Kido, the president of the Yokusen Komochi and the leader of the opposition of the House of Peers Reform. Being concerned question about the Peers Ordinance, the entire chamber paying quite attention to the most important political issue of late. Mr. Yoshishiba, your envision of the House of Peers is completely ready to reduce its significance threatening national policy, said Kido. While the Prime Minister still emphasized importance among amending the upper house, its members remained largely opposed to reform, with very few raising their voices in support. This series is common for the House of Peers, but unfortunately its details remain to a popular speech which Koshikito attacks and criticizes Yoshida through various media outlets. An increasing number of people are resonating with Kito's disordered attacks, arguing that the reformist peers, we have to make an effort to spread the truth. I don't care if we lose some political power. I'm gaining so much, baby. You can't do nothing to me. Hitler sleeps. Poor Hitler. Federal Constitution enacted in China. Let us show you what federalism was like. I guess Penny UNs. Let's go with advanced engine, and let's go with artillery. Let's just get this advanced artillery 4. Members of the House of Peers join the cabinet. Awesome. Beautiful is exactly what we need. Discussion on security details. You know, let's meet with the member of the House of. Let's do that first. I think we're gonna win. If not barely, we'll win. Friction was in the party. In response to Prime Minister Yokozu's aggressive stance against the opposition in the House of Peers, many disagreements and controversies such as the Peers is essential to reform the upper house. This amendment is political suicide have shown up to the psyches. Furthermore, influential party members like diplomat Circulo and Circulo Masono have raised doubts about the strategy. There is no point in uniting the Diet without doing the same with the party. Keeping that in mind, Yoshida came up with several ideas, essentially what she did. Remaining raised relation with the Peers. Let's expel some party. No. Keep our political power. It's fine with me. We can lose some political power. I don't mind. We need to keep all our support. Many MPs agree with the amendment. Awesome. Let's go with liberal awareness programs. Meeting with the House of Peers. I think we're gonna win. Clash before the Diet. As time passed since Yoshizuka's cabinet set the goal of amending the House of Peers, confrontation between the opposition and reformers became fiercer than it used to be political. In other words, it should have been politician-only battle. Before we know it, many people became interested in starting civic movements. This turn has created a bad situation. Right-wing groups and citizens opposing the reformers surrounded the Diet, demanding Yoshizuka's cabinet resign and withdraw their plans in the upper house. It turns out at least 50,000 people participated. Even in the countryside, opposition movements have been confirmed to be a problem, clashing with trade unions, liberals, and student activists, causing many injuries. These series of events, also known as the Peers Wars, have received a lot of attention. However, we have to deal with the daily demonstration in front of the Diet before we can do anything. The two presidents such as the one policy question, the other one's waiting them out. Let them scream until they calm down. Yeah, let's do that. We lost some support there, but that's okay. Viewership election stalemate. This will be at 32. We'll be at 35 actually once this completes, and hopefully they'll complete around similar times. Meeting with him, contact, discussion of security legislation. I'll look at this. Let's support the liberal movement. Hopefully, give us at least 10, so 45. Where is the House of Peers? I'm guessing this is the House of Peers. House of Peers is less. Okay, that's what I thought. Even though we have decent, how do we in the House represent? You know, I don't even know, because the House of Representatives has a lot of Suyukai conservatives. The House of Peers has a lot of interesting. Proposal from Chairman Anasuma. A meeting between Sharko and the State could have taken place. Representatives from both parties discussed the House of Peers reform, but it was an unusual event. They seemed unable to hide their expectations and anxiety among those present. One who attracted most attention was Nicolas Suma, chairman of the Shakto. His giant body and loud voice were enough to attract everyone's attention. His personality's being appearance suggested it was that him ushered the meeting forward, and Suma's powerful voice backed by Yosa's remark that cooperation between Saiko and Shiki is indispensable to reform the empire. They are proposing external cooperation in the party and the cabinet. This will make the House of Peers vision more reality, but will certainly excite many Soka dislike with working the social. It will affect the public opinion. No way to work with the Shaito. We're gonna get that political power, maybe. You know, we could work with him, but no, we're not socialists over here. We're not gonna lose our support. Discretion to Prince Hugashini. Prince Nagaroko Hugashini is a royal family member, has popular support, and an army officer also understands military. Furthermore, he's a liberal in the House of Peers, who would be the best collaborator among passing our bill. Hopefully. At the very least, yeah. No longer at the Soma Treda. I'm not sure what that even was because I didn't see it. Invite, suppress, invite House of Peers member. Let's do that real quick. A research slot increase for scientific progress. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Scientific progress. Cruiser 4. Might take a while, but you know, it is what it is. Prince suspecting bribery of Tekuro Kursu. Disaster. Someone's leaked this suspicion. Tekuro, Minister of the Economy, Yoshi's cabinet received large amounts of bribes from various companies, including Showa Denko, and many newspapers are now talking about it, of course. The problem is directly linked to the trust placed in Sukuran's current administration on the heated debate taking place in both houses. The stories reached the ears of Kisu is now forced, this must be investigated by the police. Yes, sir, well, police investigation. Corruption comes to light, a true disaster. Tuko's bribery allegation from bad to worse. Corruption-related documents can be incarcerated shredded were found among garbage. True disaster. Yeah, that's a true disaster. If that's not a true disaster, I don't know what is. Oof, that was bad. That was very bad. Well, could always be worse, maybe. Not sure. We need to do a lot. We need to suppress them. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully this does well and we can support the liberal movement. We'll be... that was bad. We lost a lot of support there. A lot. And I mean a lot of support. Many MPs are allies. Okay, let's support the liberal movement. At least we can get the political power. Emphasize ties to the United Kingdom. Interesting. Koyu close a parliamentary group in the House of Peers. What's Yokosuira's reforms? Collusion with the right-wing gangs. Today, an interesting story reached Yokosuira's ears. The Silver Moon, spurred on by recently the presence of backdoor negotiations with the opposition, these allies will explain unnatural behavior. Furthermore, some have witnessed Yokosuira, a prominent politician, the head of Yokosuira right wing, having conversations with several Yakuza strongmen. He seems frequently moves to Yoshio, a wealthy man with one criminal connection. His story evidence, and once we can get evidence, things, let's pin the blame on them. Yeah, let's do it. Maybe we can get some support. I don't know if we can. Hopefully we can at least. Black funds, are you seeing this? Our suspicions are right. A recording meeting between Nobisi Kishi and Yoshio Kondo during discussed pro-reform protests are since leaked out. Other evidence like photos and documents has also been found by police. The two seemingly at their wits' end. This is undermined Yakuza support and the opposition's power for support on the great sides. However, the two denying these events and some supporters still defending them but questioning legitimacy and credibility of the evidence. This doesn't appear to be a complete victory. We must keeping our eyes on their movements. Are you seeing this? At least we gained some. At least we knocked them down by 10, which is something at least. You know what I'm saying? I think we're. It's gonna be close, but I think we'll pass it. Oh yeah, be close, but we will pass it. I think. Reforms. I love these focus trees. There's some beautiful focus trees, I will say. Invite many peers. It'll be great. We'll do that. Expansion, research, research socials, labor unions. Research socialist labor unions. Interesting. Faction chart. Interesting. That's very interesting. I like this. Republic of Venezuela, Puerto Rico, and the Oriental Republic of Uruguay. Interesting. International, Commonwealth Realm, Rome Entente, Daikro Kyoken. Interesting. Showa 25, the current era is Showa. Ginkgo is spirit-specific area. Ginkgo measure years, but they can be changed in the middle of one, with multiple being within possible 365 days time. Use of interesting. It's interesting. Independent government. I like that. Research socialist labor unions. Definitely. This is a beautiful mod, I will say. It's an absolutely beautiful mod. Zaibutsu Association, corporocratism. Okay. Expansion of the number of people covered by relief law. Our allies increase. Support the liberal movement. Let's support the liberal movement. We are actually getting ahead on these guys, which is beautiful to see. Let's go with limited conscription. I know it's not probably the best thing to do right now, but let's get some more manpower. We can get some more Hoshi. One time, get more 12 divisions. Research. Oh, probably need to research something. Let's research engineer company. Disarmament policy, Army-Navy conflict, interesting. Parasitic landholding system, Second Spanish Civil War. Then we can go with Social Security for Sayuki. Announced Sayuki as Social Security along with the Relief Law Amendment, gaining understanding support for citizens. Hopefully at least. Harold Macmillan wins United Kingdom House of Commons election. Can we regain our past glory if we go conservative? That is very interesting to see. Do they have a focus tree? They do. I might have to play as them because they have a very interesting focus tree. Maybe not. Might not because they don't seem to be completely finished. But still, very interesting. I love the focus on elections in this mod. That's my favorite thing about this mod so far is the how focus on elections. And the next thing we'll do is 25 days, and then we'll go with policy in the House of Representatives. Oh, it crashed again. We'll be back in a second. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back for a third time. Policy tab, something happened, I don't know. But we're doing the Social Security. We're doing it. A bit annoying, but it is what it is. Invite House of Peers, members of the House of Peers. Decryption. It's working getting China's decrypted. I don't know if we're gonna go to war with China anytime soon. You know, maybe we will. I don't know. This guy, Luke Washan Shingolupin, the gentleman president. Interesting. Okay. Okay. We're back in just a second. Ah! Back, ladies and gentlemen, for a fourth time. I'm gonna go insane if this crashes again. So I'm just gonna let it sit. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna sit here and stare. That's all I'm gonna do. If it crashes again, I'm gonna end the episode, and we may do another episode. I'm just gonna sit here, I'm gonna stare at it, and I'm gonna be happy. I'm not gonna mess with anything. I'm not gonna do anything. We're just gonna stare. You hear me? Just gonna stare. All we're gonna do is stare. You hear me? You better be staring too, buddy. Stare at the screen. That's what we gotta do here. Oh, my crash. Well, I guess it's the end of the episode. I love you all, though. Hope to see y'all next time. If we do another episode like this, hopefully it'll be fun. Love you all. See y'all next time. Love you. Bye-bye.